Welcome back to Coins Numismatic Series, where rare coins, hidden treasures, and unbelievable collector discoveries come to life. Today's episode is absolutely incredible because we are diving into two Lincoln 1-cent coins that continue to surprise collectors with their history, hidden value, and rare varieties. One of these pennies comes from one of the most important years in American coin history, while the other became famous for dramatic errors and shocking auction prices that collectors still talk about today. These are coins many people have handled, spent, or ignored without realizing they could be worth far more than 1 cent. So get ready, because today we uncover the top two rare Lincoln penny 1-cent coins, the legendary 1964 Lincoln penny and the fascinating 1983 Lincoln penny. 1964 Lincoln penny. The 1964 Lincoln penny stands as one of the most historically important and widely collected Lincoln cents ever produced in the United States. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary coin that appears in countless old jars and family collections. But behind this humble copper cent lies a fascinating story tied directly to one of the most dramatic periods in American coinage history. The year 1964 was a turning point for the United States Mint and for American money itself. During the early 1960s, the country faced a growing coin shortage. Silver coins were disappearing from circulation because people were hoarding them for their precious metal content. As silver prices increased, Americans began saving dimes, quarters, and half dollars instead of spending them. At the same time, coin collecting exploded in popularity across the nation. Millions of Americans searched through pocket change hoping to discover valuable dates, mint errors, or rare varieties. Lincoln cents became one of the most collected coins in the country because they were affordable, easy to find, and filled with historical significance. The 1964 Lincoln penny was produced during this exciting environment. Unlike silver coins of the same era, the penny still retained its traditional bronze composition made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This rich copper alloy gave the coin its beautiful reddish appearance and durable structure. The obverse side of the coin continued featuring Victor David Brenner's famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the centennial of Lincoln's birth, Brenner's design became one of the most iconic images in American coin history. Lincoln faces toward the right side of the coin, with "I in God we trust" above his head, liberty to the left, and the date positioned on the right. The reverse displayed Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial design, introduced in 1959. The memorial reverse replaced the earlier wheat ears design and remained in production for decades. If collectors examine well-preserved 1964 pennies carefully, they can still see impressive details in the memorial columns and structure. The Philadelphia Mint struck billions of 1964 Lincoln pennies, while the Denver Mint also produced enormous quantities marked with the D Mint mark. Combined mintage figures reached extraordinary levels because the Mint was desperately trying to combat the nationwide coin shortage. Even though billions were produced, the 1964 Lincoln penny became extremely popular among collectors because condition rarity matters far more than simple mintage totals. Most 1964 pennies entered heavy circulation immediately after release. They passed through grocery stores, restaurants, vending machines, gas stations, and banks for decades. As a result, the majority of surviving examples today show wear, discoloration, scratches, or environmental damage. Collectors classify copper Lincoln cents into three major color categories. Brown coins have lost most of their original mint color. Red-brown coins still retain partial original luster mixed with darker toning. Full red examples preserve nearly all of their fiery original mint brilliance. The full red 1964 pennies are especially desirable because copper reacts easily with moisture, oils, and air contamination. Finding untouched original red examples more than 60 years after production is becoming increasingly difficult. A circulated 1964 Lincoln penny usually carries only modest value unless it features a rare variety or error. Lower-grade coins may sell for only a few cents to a few dollars, depending on condition. But once collectors move into mint state territory, values begin increasing significantly. Mint State 65 red examples often command strong premiums, especially with attractive surfaces and bright luster. The real excitement begins with elite-grade specimens certified by major grading companies such as PCGS and NGC. Superb gem examples graded MS67 red or higher are surprisingly scarce because even tiny contact marks or weak strikes can lower grades dramatically. Some exceptional 1964 Lincoln pennies have sold for thousands of dollars at auction because registry collectors compete aggressively for the finest known examples. One of the reasons high-grade 1964 pennies are difficult to locate involves mint handling procedures during the coin shortage crisis. Massive production pressure often caused coins to strike against one another before packaging, creating small marks and abrasions even before circulation. Collectors also love the 1964 Lincoln penny because of its many fascinating error varieties. One of the most famous is the double die variety. Double dies occur when a working die receives multiple impressions at slightly different positions during manufacturing. This creates visible doubling on letters, numbers, or design elements. Collectors carefully inspect Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the dates searching for strong doubling. Some double die examples command significant premiums depending on visibility and rarity. Another major variety involves repunched mint marks on Denver issues. During this era, mint marks were punched manually into working dies. If the punch shifted or was corrected, traces of the original mint mark position sometimes remained visible. Collectors search closely beneath magnification for overlapping D-mint marks or secondary outlines. Off-center strikes are another exciting error associated with the 1964 penny. These dramatic mint mistakes occur when the planchet fails to align properly beneath the dies during striking. The more dramatic the off-center appearance while still showing the date, the more valuable the coin may become. Broad strike errors are also highly collectible. These occur when the restraining collar fails during striking, causing the coin to spread outward abnormally. Clipped planchet errors appear when incomplete metal blanks are punched from the strip during manufacturing. These unusual curved missing sections create highly collectible error coins. Some 1964 pennies display die cracks, cuds, or struck through errors caused by damaged dies or foreign debris interfering during production. Collectors are especially fascinated by transitional and experimental stories from the 1964 era because this was the final full year before the United States eliminated silver from circulating dimes and quarters in 1965. The coin shortage crisis of the mid-1960s transformed American coinage forever. The mint increased production dramatically and even temporarily removed mint marks from coins beginning in 1965 to discourage collecting and hoarding. Because of this historical importance, many collectors view the 1964 Lincoln penny as the final representative of an earlier era of American coin collecting. The emotional nostalgia attached to this coin is also powerful. For many Americans, the 1964 penny reminds them of childhood coin folders, penny collections stored in drawers, or searching through change with parents and grandparents. Coin roll hunting remains extremely popular for 1964 pennies. Collectors continue searching original bank-wrapped rolls and old collections hoping to uncover pristine red gems or valuable varieties. Some original unopened rolls still surface occasionally at estate sales or auctions. These discoveries create enormous excitement because hidden high-grade examples may still exist. Professional grading became increasingly important for 1964 Lincoln pennies because tiny condition differences dramatically affect value. A coin graded MS65 red may sell for moderate premiums, while a nearly flawless MS67 red example can bring thousands of dollars. The strike quality of 1964 pennies also varies significantly. Some coins display weak details in Lincoln's hair or the memorial columns, while others show razor-sharp strikes with strong detail throughout. Collectors pay strong premiums for fully struck examples with exceptional eye appeal. The original mint luster on top-quality 1964 pennies creates a beautiful cartwheel effect when tilted beneath light. This glowing appearance remains one of the defining characteristics of premium copper coinage. Storage methods greatly influenced survival quality. Many people stored pennies in jars, paper envelopes, or cardboard holders without understanding long-term environmental effects. As a result, countless coins developed spotting, discoloration, or corrosion over time. Finding completely original, untouched 1964 Lincoln pennies today has become increasingly difficult, particularly with vibrant full red color intact. Copper value awareness also increased collector interest in older Lincoln cents. Since pre-1982 pennies contained substantial copper content compared to later zinc issues, many people began saving them separately. This renewed public attention introduced new collectors to coins like the 1964 Lincoln penny. Auction records continue proving that elite quality 1964 pennies remain highly desirable. Registry collectors compete intensely for the finest certified examples because population numbers drop sharply at the highest grades. Some auction appearances shocked casual collectors who assumed ordinary pennies could never become valuable. For advanced Lincoln cent specialists, the 1964 issue remains an essential part of completing high-grade memorial cent collections. The combination of historical significance, copper composition, nostalgic appeal, error varieties, and condition rarity keeps this coin firmly established in the numismatic spotlight. Even today, people still discover valuable 1964 Lincoln pennies hidden inside inherited collections, coin jars, and forgotten bank rolls. That possibility of discovery continues, making this one of the most exciting modern Lincoln cents for collectors around the world. 1983 D. Lincoln Penny. The 1983 D. Lincoln Penny is one of the most fascinating and mysterious modern Lincoln cents ever produced because it exists during one of the most dramatic transitions in United States coinage history. This penny was struck during the period when the United States Mint changed the composition of the Lincoln cent from mostly copper to copper-plated zinc. That single decision transformed the physical structure of the coin forever and accidentally created one of the most collectible modern era stories in American numismatics. To fully understand why the 1983 D. Lincoln penny became so important, we need to go back to the early 1980s. During this period, rising copper prices created serious economic concerns for the mint. Producing traditional bronze pennies had become too expensive because the metal value approached and sometimes exceeded the face value of the coin itself. To reduce costs, the mint introduced a new composition in 1982 consisting primarily of zinc coated with a thin outer layer of copper. This transition year created tremendous confusion because both bronze and zinc pennies were struck during 1982 across multiple mints. By 1983, the mint officially continued using the new zinc composition for regular circulation pennies. The 1983 D. Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint and carries the small d mint mark beneath the date. The obverse still featured Victor David Brenner's famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse continued displaying Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial design. At first glance, the 1983 D. penny appears almost identical to earlier Lincoln cents. However, the coin feels lighter because of its zinc core. Traditional bronze Lincoln cents weigh approximately 3.11 grams, while the newer zinc cents weigh around 2.5 grams. This weight difference became critically important for collectors because one of the most valuable modern penny errors involves the accidental striking of 1983 D. cents on leftover bronze planchets. That extraordinary error transformed the 1983 D. Lincoln penny into a legendary modern rarity. The Denver Mint produced billions of 1983 D. pennies for circulation. Most entered commerce immediately and experienced heavy use. Because zinc-based cents are more vulnerable to damage than earlier bronze pennies, many surviving examples developed corrosion, bubbling, or surface deterioration. Collectors quickly noticed that finding pristine, uncirculated examples with strong original red color became surprisingly difficult. Like earlier Lincoln cents, the 1983 D. penny is categorized into brown, and red color designations. Full red examples displaying original mint brilliance attract the strongest demand from collectors. Circulated 1983 D. pennies are usually common and inexpensive. However, condition rarity dramatically affects values for high-grade examples. Mint State 65 red coins may command respectable premiums, while elite-grade examples certified MS 67 red or higher become extremely scarce. The real excitement surrounding the 1983 D. Lincoln penny centers on errors and transitional composition discoveries. One of the most famous modern penny errors involves the rare 1983 D bronze cent. Although the mint officially used zinc planchets in 1983, a few leftover bronze planchets from earlier production somehow remained inside mint machinery and received 1983 D strikes. These accidental bronze strikes are extraordinarily rare and highly valuable. Collectors identify them primarily through weight testing. A normal zinc 1983 D penny weighs approximately 2.5 grams, while the rare bronze version weighs around 3.11 grams. When authenticated by major grading services, these transitional errors can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. The discovery of bronze 1983 D pennies shocked the numismatic world because they represented accidental survivors from the composition transition. Some examples achieved incredible auction prices due to intense collector demand. Collectors also aggressively search for double die varieties on the 1983 D penny. One of the best-known double die reverses displays dramatic doubling on the inscriptions 1 cent and E pluribus unum. This variety became extremely popular because the doubling is strong enough to see without advanced magnification on some examples. High-grade double die reverses can command substantial premiums depending on condition and visibility. Off-center strikes are another collectible category associated with the 1983 D penny. These dramatic errors occur when the planchet fails to align correctly during striking. Broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, cuds, and struck-through errors also appear occasionally. Because the 1983 D penny belongs to the modern era, many collectors still search circulation and bankrolls hoping to discover valuable errors. That accessibility keeps collector excitement extremely high. Another fascinating issue affecting 1983 D pennies involves zinc deterioration. Unlike older bronze cents, zinc core pennies are vulnerable to plating damage and corrosion. Moisture can penetrate beneath the thin copper coating, causing bubbling and surface decay. As a result, locating pristine, untouched 1983 D pennies decades after production is more difficult than many people expect. Professional grading plays a major role in determining value for this coin. Even tiny abrasions, spots, or weak strikes can lower grades significantly. Registry collectors compete aggressively for top population examples with flawless surfaces and blazing red color. The strike quality of 1983 D pennies also varies considerably. Some examples display weak details in Lincoln's hair or the memorial design, while others show crisp, sharp strikes with strong eye appeal. Collectors prefer coins with clean surfaces, full luster, and minimal contact marks. The original mint luster on premium 1983 D pennies creates attractive rotating cartwheel effects beneath light. This shimmering appearance remains highly important for advanced collectors. Another reason the 1983 D penny became so popular involves the thrill of modern treasure hunting. Unlike ancient rarities hidden inside museums, valuable 1983 D errors can theoretically still appear in circulation, old collections, or bankrolls. Collectors continue checking penny jars, estate collections, and inherited coin albums hoping to discover a bronze transitional error or double die variety. Stories of unexpected discoveries continue fueling excitement across the coin collecting community. Some collectors first learned about the rare bronze 1983 D penny after hearing unbelievable auction stories. The idea that a seemingly ordinary modern penny could suddenly become worth thousands of dollars captured public imagination. Coin dealers and grading services now carefully inspect unusual 1983 D cents because authentic transitional errors are so valuable. The educational importance of this coin is also enormous. The 1983 D penny teaches collectors about mint composition changes, transitional errors, die varieties, grading standards, and the impact of metal prices on coin production. It represents a perfect example of how economic decisions inside the mint can accidentally create legendary collectibles. Auction records for rare 1983 D bronze cents remain among the most exciting stories in modern Lincoln cent collecting. Some authenticated examples sold for astonishing prices, proving that even modern coins can achieve major numismatic significance. For advanced Lincoln cent specialists, the 1983 D issue remains one of the most studied modern dates because of its transitional composition mysteries. The double die reverses, condition rarity, and bronze transitional errors combine to create extraordinary collector interest. As more collectors enter the hobby through online videos, coin roll hunting, and social media, awareness of valuable 1983 D pennies continues growing rapidly. Many beginners specifically search for this date because of the famous bronze error story. And that is what makes coin collecting so fascinating. An ordinary-looking penny can carry hidden history, accidental rarity, and life-changing value. The 1964 Lincoln penny represents the closing chapter of classic high copper circulation coinage before the great changes of the mid-1960s. The 1983 D Lincoln penny represents the beginning of America's modern zinc cent era and one of the most famous transitional error stories ever discovered. Together, these coins tell the story of changing economics, mint technology, collector passion, and the endless search for hidden treasure. So the next time you receive a handful of pennies, do not ignore them. Look closely at the dates, mint marks, surfaces, and weight because one small detail could reveal an extraordinary rarity hiding in plain sight. Thank you for watching Coins Numismatic Series. Make sure to subscribe for more rare coin discovery.